Outlaw Sports is brought to you by Molson Canadian, made from Canada, and Rocky Mountain Barbecue, Alberta barbecue cuisine at its best. Graham Pollock, let me ask you this. The Calgary Flames have a very simple strategy and a very simple formula to win games. It's called get all your top 6 players to contribute, your goalie to make great saves. Easy. The only thing is, get that happening all year long.
Exactly. I got to give these guys credit, though. Now, they haven't beaten some big teams, some really good teams last week, but what the heck?
Win's a win.
A win's a win, and, you know, if they hadn't beaten those teams, people would said, oh, you know, they can't even beat the crummy teams. They found a way to win it. It's not a fancy formula. The game against Winnipeg, though, was pretty wide open. I enjoyed that. Did you watch the game against Minnesota on the Sunday?
Yes.
Was that not one of the most boring games?
Awful.
I think the announcers didn't help the game, but the game itself was terrible, but at least the Flames won. Not a fancy formula, but at least they won. They got some
Third
points.
Third period got interesting.
Yeah, it got interesting. That doesn't mean great hockey.
No,
it means it gets interesting.
Just got interesting.
And aren't you impressed with Sven Baertschi a little bit?
He can skate with those guys.
He can skate.
Wasn't afraid to hit. Took a penalty in the first one.
Doesn't look strong to you, right? He looks like you can just bounce off him and he'll fall down a little bit. But I think you can just see the potential in this guy who doesn't mind going to all the areas where you can get maybe hurt or going in front of the net. So
the answer to Edmonton's all their youth. This kid looks like he's going to skate, and as you say, get a little stronger, come back and see us.
You know, when he started against the Winnipeg Jets last week, I can't remember covering this team for so long when there was so much excitement over a young guy coming up. And maybe it was the playoffs in 1996 when Jerome McGinley came up during the Chicago Blackhawks series. Kamloops Blazers were just bounced from the playoffs. He signed a contract at the airport in Calgary and played against the Hawks. That might have been the last time.
Yeah.
However, I think more maybe Theoren Fleury.
Brent Hull too in '86.
When he came up from the minors?
Yeah, and he scored that one goal against Montreal. But
I don't mean what happened, Mike. I mean the hype before it. Was it Brent Hull?
Sure, yeah.
I think Theoren Fleury, to me, when he came up, because you saw this guy at training camp. He looked so good. He was causing so many problems on the ice for the veterans. He was raising hell.
Yeah.
And then he goes down to Salt Lake City. It does extremely well. Comes up, I think, New Year's Day.
Yeah.
I guess the point is, if we have to go back to '86 with Brett Hull, it's been a long time then. I guess that's the bottom line here, that we haven't had a lot of excitement of players coming up here, looking forward to watching them play because we've had a lot of retreads over the years, players you can't get excited about. So it was fun to be covering the Flames then.
So right now, and things can change night by night, week by week, and this is what's fun about this time of year. So right now the Flames are in, and by the time this goes to air, they could be out, but at least they got their nose in the hunt.
It's just too bad they couldn't have done this, as you said at the outset, earlier in the season to make it more exciting to be up there. But they're giving it a fight. I mean, I keep expecting them to fall down, but they don't. They find a way. I'm impressed by that. I think getting David Moss back, certainly getting Curtis Glencross back a couple of weeks ago, really, really helped. Now, if they can get Butler back, if they get some other guys back soon, it's going to be exciting.
Now, I want to talk about two guys. Of course, Curtis Glencross scoring now in 7 straight games. And moving Stajan. Now, I've been hard on this guy, and I was hard on him last week, giving the announcers a rough time, saying, oh, maybe the floodgates will open. I still don't think he's your Class A type player, but he's certainly not playing very badly with the big line.
When I was watching Matt Stajan, I agree, he's looking good. I guess he's in a position, Mike, to succeed. You often hear this, how coaches have to put players in positions where they can succeed. And I guess when you're on the 3rd or perhaps 4th line, you're not supposed to be crashing the net, doing all this kind of stuff. You're just trying to get your time on the ice so the stars can get a rest.
Yeah.
And you don't
let anyone score.
Exactly. So it's more skating backwards all the time. It's more prevent as opposed to being more proactive going after it. When he's playing with Iginla and Tanguay, you see him going after, you see him charging the net. He's playing with more piss and vinegar, and I think it just seems to work better. It suits his style better. So it lends himself to having more success.